alternative X frame for the Aurora sort of series, but it's not quite. Firstly, they've addressed my major issue with the Aurora, and that's the frame. I liked it, it was nice and light, I liked the layout, liked everything about it apart from the thickness was 1.5mm, which was just not thick enough, and it had cutouts in the arms as well, which was kind of frustrating. It was easy to break. I'll put a picture up of how broken mine was by the time I'd finished with it. So I moved it across to the Fire 110 frame. This is much more similar to the Fire 110. The only other thing that I thought was missing from the Aurora was antenna protection. They have brought out a thicker frame and antenna protection now, which I'll be fitting to mine, but this addresses both of those and gives a thicker plate. There's also a couple of little standoffs horizontally at the bottom there, which stiffen up that section too. It really does look like a solid frame. I reckon you could still break bits of it, and you can probably still break an arm eventually, but this will take the type of hit that I was breaking the Aurora arms on. The VTX is an odd choice. It's 150 milliwatt switching, so I've switched it to 100 for a better signal, but I'd rather they had a 25 to 200 in there. I just think it covers all bases there, so I'm not sure what the logic is behind the 50-100. And the main difference with this power system is 6000 kV 1104s as opposed to, I think there's 7500 or 7800 for 2S. This will run 3S, so it'll probably be a nice gentle cruiser on 2S and should be even more aggressive than the Aurora 100 on 3S. Now, I've used XT30s on this, which I've seen a couple of horror stories of people plugging these in backwards. They will actually go in backwards if you force them, or not even force them that hard, so careful with these if you've not used them before. I really didn't want to use them, so for the moment it's on there. I might change it. Okay, let's have a fly. Okay, let's see what this critter's about. Okay, very talky. I've just got angle mode for the moment because it's quite early and I haven't flown this quad past a hover in the room yet. Okay. There's a few little vibes, probably from slightly bent props. Yeah, the tracking looks ever so slightly out. Oh my goodness. Okay. It feels, it feels like the Aurora 100 really on 3S, but it doesn't bottom out or top out quite as quickly. You've got more resolution on 3S, which makes sense. Woo. It's hard to say. Without flying them back to back, whether it feels more aggressive than the Aurora. Flies. Oh, great. Lost it? No, I haven't. There's a lot of little patches of water where I am at the moment, and that means lots of midges and little flies and things. I'm just going to move out into the field a little bit more. So yeah, first impressions are it's a lively little fella. It really is. Now, I don't mind the non-X frame at all, so the cross, whoa, isn't something that would make me choose it over the Aurora. And I quite like the fact that the Aurora is really efficient, really efficient. Usually less cells is more efficient than more cells. Okay, a little beep there. Wow. Okay, yeah, first impressions are awesome. It flies incredible. It flies really, really good. It ticks all the boxes. It's got LEDs, it's got buzzer support, it's got OSD, it's got antenna protection, it's got frame that isn't going to break really easily. It probably puts out a lot more current through the XT30, so even though I don't personally like them, it's a great choice. I didn't really dislike anything about it on paper, and after flying it, I can see what all the fuss is about. This one's a 3S Nanosec 65 to 130C. Okay. First flight in Brighouse. First time stuck in the tree. I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have disarmed. I have no idea how high I am. Oh, there it is, and it still arms. Here we are. Oh. Naughty. So, I don't think it's very efficient because I had that battery beeping in no time. However, as soon as I got it in the air and had a little blast out, what I thought was similar to the Aurora isn't, it's not, it's quite a bit more aggressive. But line of sight, it feels like you've just got more resolution, but I think there's just a bit more throttle at that top end. The bottom end is still super aggressive. I wasn't even sure you could fly through that at first. Oh my goodness. I'm so bad at standing up and flying. Woo! Oh my god. It really is tuned exceptionally well. Or, more likely, it flies exceptionally well on stock PIDs. Okay. If I wanted to hit it, I couldn't. Okay, so it's an absolute beast on 3S. I'm going to see how feasible it is to run it on 2S. Now, I'm expecting it to run, but how well I'm not sure. So I'm going to put a really bad 2S battery through it and see how it flies. Oh, this is a 700 milliamp hour battery that came out of a MJX hexacopter that landed outside my house and nobody claimed after it got partially run over. Yep. Surprisingly decent. Yeah, I mean, for cruising about, 2S is absolutely sensible. Doesn't fly quite as tight and clean. But plenty, flies. Plenty of power for cruising. So an 852S is going to get you probably a longer flight time than, longer flight time than the Aurora on 2S. Lower KV. So the efficiency thing, I guess it depends what you want. If you want a lot more pop than even the Aurora has, this is going to give it you. And I guess there isn't much price difference between 3S and 2S LiPos at this size right now. Certainly not on Banggood. I mean, my Taros have got about that kind of power. With the best battery I put through them, the 3S that I've just put through this, doing some FPV around there. So if the Aurora 100 was a Taro killer, this is a Taro homicidal maniac. It's an absolute beast. Okay, it's raining. I'm going to be quick. Now I noticed something with this one when I set it up for 3D. I couldn't arm in 3D mode. I don't know whether they've changed the feature or not in beta flight. I had to actually arm in flight. It's got so much power. Okay. Yeah. So the lower kV means that 3S is going to switch for 3D. And the extra power means that torque is not an issue, it's really aggressive. So, I'm afraid the Lizard wins the 3D battle over the Aurora if you're talking about 3S. But it isn't efficient. Woo. Shut up, you. Tell you what, Aiden. Come and stand here. Put goggles on and see if you fall over. See if I can arm in 3D mode again. See if it'll, at all. No. No, not at all. So, hold on. I have to take off in normal mode. Okay, a little glitch there, but I was really stabbing away at the throttle. And these aren't 3D props. I think once I get 3D props on this, this is going to be possibly the most aggressive 3D rig I've got. Okay, you don't seem to be falling over, Ed.
No, it doesn't move that much at all. Maybe like sway back a little bit, put the burn. It is weird, man.
Whoop! You've only got a little bit of up tilt on this, so when you're inverted that becomes down tilt, so when I'm facing forward you're going to get a lot more of the floor, or a chunk more of the floor. Oh, you're not going to overgo? Chicken. Okay, one last little blast because I can't go out from under these trees because it's raining. Whoa! Think I can make it round? Can't see. Run! Run! Buzzers, roll! Enough for today, it's raining. That's why you need a buzzer. There's no way I'd have found that. I was a good 30 metres away from where I thought it was at first. And I could only just hear the buzzer clicking. I just want to fly around these trees once, it's too frustrating. Water on the lens. Why? More water on the lens. Whoa. I was going to majestically go inverted in 3D mode to impress you.
All I'm going to do is just some going past it. Got quite close to the tree then, Liam.
I got it first.